Hey everybody, so I was walking and wanted to talk about something that I've thought about a lot. Why is it that when a black person tells a black woman that he doesn't date them or he's not attracted to them or gives any kind of valid criticism, the automatic response is, but your mama black? And if the person is mixed, the response is either, but your mama black or ain't your mama black. So, I want to break this down a little and think about this a little bit. Is the reason that that's the response possibly because of the fact that these women don't want to take responsibility for the valid criticisms that are being made about them? Is it because they identify that the criticisms are valid and they want the people to feel bad for making these criticisms by bringing up their mother? Is it because they want to try to tie black women to the mothers and that kind of aspect to get the men to want them? Because I'll tell you, if I see anything about my mother in a woman, and this is nothing against my mother, I love my mother, but honestly, if I see something about my mother in a woman, I don't want her. Because that's my mother, and I'm not ancestral, and I'm not going to be with a woman that reminds me of my parent. But to these black women, that seems like what they want. And again, it's not all. It's a good amount of the population of them, but not all. But these are the ones that are raising these children. These are the ones that are out here twerking like it's some kind of a mating call, and starting shit, being loud, embarrassing you in public. And to be honest, when children see that growing up from their parent, now the girls, they see it, and they're attracted to how their mothers are. They become that way. And they begin to pick up the same traits as the mother. Just like when a son is around, he picks up a lot of the traits from the father. So when you have women outside twerking like it's some kind of mating call and being complete embarrassment in public, and these girls are seeing it, well, what are the girls going to be? And when these women are raising these boys, I can give you an example. I can give you a story, actually. This dude Darius that I went to school with, black kid, he grew up to be really cool. He grew up to be really good. He ended up doing pretty well for himself. But what ended up happening was he went to school. He ended up coming out to a suburban area after his mother died. His mother was a black woman. He said it himself. He respects her for busting her ass to make sure that he always had a roof over his head. And he respects her for busting her ass to make sure that he always had food on the table. But the thing was, they always had bare minimum for food. Like, they'd be up eating whatever. It would be dirt cheap. Like, they were pretty much living on ramen noodles. Because his mother was a crack addict. And he said this to me himself. His mother was a massive crack addict who was literally prostituting. He had multiple siblings, everything. And he says that despite the fact of his mother trying, she did not do a very good job. Now, because of that, he doesn't want to date black women, and he doesn't want to be around black women, because he said if he ever has a child, he would be afraid that that would happen and that the mother of his child would be that way, and he wants a woman that he can actually be with and have a relationship with. So, that's him. He told me that. He moved to the suburbs after his mom died. He was like 11. Now, my thing is this. Also, black men get told, but your mama black, in that response every time they criticize the women. But why is it that black women, the black women who are out here bashing black men, they can go out here and do that shit all fucking day. and nobody will give a shit. Nobody will say anything. But it's the other way around if it's a woman. Black women, again, in general, the general amount of black women want their men to be dumb. They want their men to be attracted to women like them. Because no other group of men generally wants them for anything except a sex object or a fetish. White men love black women as a fetish. Black men love white women as a chance to escape. And the reason I say it's a chance to escape is because it gives them a chance to get away from the other women. I love white women just because that's what I grew up around, and I'm very comfortable around them, and I'm much more comfortable with them. I've lived around both black and white women my whole life, but I'm generally more comfortable with the whites because of my background and where I grew up and everything. So, this is to every black woman who is gonna run behind the "but your mama black." With all the criticisms you give of the men, which, by the way, let's just remember, you're the ones raising these children. Black women are the ones that are single parents raising these children. So, the next time somebody tells you, "but your mama black," tell them this: yeah, your daddy black. What's your point? Because with all the criticism they want to make on men, let's hold them accountable. I hold everyone accountable, men or women. But we need to hold them accountable. They're the ones who are single parents raising these children outside of wedlock with men that they probably should have never been with in the first place, when they're not financially stable, when they're not emotionally ready for a child. And yet, they're the victims. And yeah, you can blame the men for their part. I do. I admit that the men have their problems as a general population. But who's the ones raising these problems? So again, that's it. And to all black women who want to tell me my mama black, first off, I got a better response than your daddy black. My mama's not black, my mama's white. But I'm still going to say it. My mama's white, your daddy black. Peace.